My name is Ted Schilowitz. I'm the first employee of RED Digital Cinema. We make movie cameras and all kinds of other things. We're a high-end digital imaging company. So we're showing our Epic cameras, our Scarlet cameras, which are the current cameras that are shipping. The Epic is our 5K motion picture camera that's being used on pretty much every big movie in the world right now. So you've got David Fincher, who did Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, some on Red 1, some on Epic. You have Steven Soderbergh, who did Contagion, some on Red 1 and some on Epic. And then full Epic movies are just hitting theaters now. So like Underworld is a good example of a 3D movie that was done in Epic that was released a few months ago. We have the new Spider-Man coming out in this summer in July. It's the big blockbuster, their big tentpole. A lot of big movies are being shot with our cameras. So that's just a small selection. Scarlet is our entry-level camera, or as entry-level as we get as a company. It's a 4K motion picture camera and 5K still imaging camera, so it shares the same sensor, Epic and Scarlet, but the Epic is sort of like the supercharged version that will do 5K at full high speed and all the resolutions on down, and Epic is, and Scarlet is designed same image quality. It doesn't have quite the high frame rate capabilities. All these cameras are made in the United States of America, which is a pretty big deal. A lot of people don't realize that or are surprised to hear that. They just assume that high sophisticated electronics products must be made somewhere in Asia, and that is not the case with us. We actually build our cameras in California. We have a full-on production line there and churn out cameras. We're actually shipping cameras on demand now, which is sort of a new thing for our company. We've always been kind of the demand and the popularity of the cameras, starting with the Red 1 and the Epic and then Scarlet. We've always been in kind of a back order status, but these days we put a lot of focus in our company on really ramping up manufacturing to hit demand, and now we can ship Epics and Scarlets on demand, which is pretty exciting, right out of the U.S., built and shipped out of the U.S. Probably the biggest thing that most people are really interested in on the camera side is we're upgrading from 5K to 6K, so we've announced some specifications on what we call the Dragon sensor, which is our next generation sensor, and we'll be upgrading all the Epic owners' cameras from 5K to 6K for a $6,000 upgrade cost. So it's very, very expensive. You don't have to buy a whole new camera to take advantage of the added resolution and the added dynamic range. So currently on an Epic, it's pretty unbelievable in terms of the dynamic range we're already offering in the current camera, which is close to 13 stops. And now we're going to go to 15 stops on the Dragon sensor. So increased resolution and increased dynamic range. And that should be, by the end of this calendar year, that should be rolling out for customers to upgrade their cameras. The other big announcement is the projector, our new RED 4K laser projector. So 4K system starting at $10,000 for a 4K projection system for home use, and then it scales all the way up to full-on digital cinema, large hall, full-on professional theatrical, all using laser-based light sources. So it's pretty groundbreaking. A lot of times when we want to show off our technology, we make a little movie to really demonstrate what we're doing. So this year, we've become quite friendly with Ridley Scott because he made a movie called Prometheus. That's another one I didn't mention, another one on the list, that's coming out in theaters, a huge budget movie with a whole bunch of epics in 3D, and really fell in love with the camera, fell in love with everything about it, just rave reviews, and you talk to Ridley or find out. He's just thrilled with what he was able to achieve with these cameras. So we asked him if he wanted help on making a little short movie to show off our new laser projector and our 4K Red Ray player, which is our 4K playback system. He said, sure. So he got his son Luke involved to write it and direct it, and he's one of the producers on it. Ridley's one of the producers on it. The DP is Derek Walsky, who shot Pirates of the Caribbean on a bunch of Red 1s in 3D, and then also shot Prometheus and shot a bunch of other things. A very accomplished DP of note. So he shot the movie for us in 3D on a bunch of epics, and it was shot in just a few days, edited very quickly, turned around, color graded, and finished and delivered to run at NAB on our big movie screen that we set up in the theater here. If you want basic information on RED, you just go to red.com, so that's easy to remember. And there are a bunch of tabs on the website where you can see, if you click on the shot on RED, then you can see all the things that are shot on RED, because there's movies and TV shows, and there's a bunch of still stuff because these cameras are hybrid technology. They work as still and movie cameras. So there's a whole bunch of high-end still work for the fashion magazine industry. So you can sort of check out what our customers have done with the cameras. If you go to the Learn section on the website, you can see interviews and sort of tutorials with me and Dan, who does a lot of our post workflow stuff, and So you can kind of get a good sense of what RED does for a living and why we do what we do. So there's that. You can learn about our education programs. In addition to building these cameras, we think it's really important to teach people how to maximize and get the best results out of them. So we run a program called RED Education. So that's our version of education. We do short, like 1-week classes on a pretty regular basis. I get a chance to teach some of them occasionally when I'm not too busy doing other stuff, which is fun. I love doing it, so I get a chance to do that. And with a whole group of teachers that come from the industry that all work with RED on projects every day.